about a year I've been planning to do this, and finally the day has come. With this coronavirus lockdown crap, it really gives me time to finally do it. So we're converting the XE from manual back to auto, as this car started life as an auto. No, the Safiro is not done yet. So this is what I have. A Paul Rogers built C10, so 3-speed. It's the factory autos that come in these V8s. I've got a 4.5 grand converter, new flex plate, bolts and crap starter, and a black B&M Stealth Pro ratchet. The only things I'm waiting on are a tail shaft, just because I don't know whether you can still use this one or not. And that's it. So I'm going to start pulling this thing apart, taking the manual out as it's all sold. And that's it. And I got a really mint blue auto console, which was amazing. So let's get stuck into it. Reason why would you convert your car from manual to auto? It's always the other way around. Everyone manual converts their car. Well, I want to start racing this car, and with the manual in it, one, it's too harsh. You're just gonna be breaking shit and breaking shit and breaking shit and breaking shit. It's too harsh drag racing with a manual, especially on these old cars. Number two, it drives like shit with a manual. With this engine combo with a manual, it absolutely drives like shit. And also I want to do burnouts and stuff just whenever I feel like it, like at the lights and whatever intersection I feel. So it's a lot easier with an auto, and it just sounds better, sounds tougher. And I've never had a car with like a big converter and all that stuff in it. Every car I've had has always been manual, so we're going back to auto. So here we go. So these are actually really easy to get the box in and out of. Because how they are, you pull the box off the bell housing and you leave the bell housing attached, so you can drop the box out very easily by yourself on a jack, and then you just pull the bell housing off by itself. Makes it a shitload easier than pulling everything off together. Alright, so master and slave out in one unit. You can keep these together. Saves you dripping fluid everywhere. Now from factory on these, whether they're auto or manual, they all have the hole for the clutch master. The only difference is, obviously a manual will have a clutch master there, and an auto will just have a blanking plate. So how good is that? You don't have to drill nothing, just take the plate off to manual convert. Starter motor out. Almost went to drop the box out without draining the oil. That would have been a disaster. Now I can drop it out. So we're ready to drop the box out.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can I trust you on the jack?
No.
No pressure, but if you let it down and it drops, I will be seriously injured. We'll be fine. Alright, let's go. And the box is out. Good job. So out with the manual. In with the auto. And last but not least, bell housing, clutch, flywheel, and that is it. All manual related things removed from this car. And then I think that'll be it for today. I'm pretty buggered already. It's really muggy here today and windy. And I honestly can't be bothered. So those are the last things, and that's it. This dickhead every time. So, today I'm going to try something that I saw here on YouTube. Now, going from manual to auto in this car, you need to obviously remove the manual spigot from out the back of the crank. So, one I saw on YouTube is with bread. So I'm going to put it to the test and see if it actually works. So what this video says to do is to pack the hole with bread. And then with a bolt that's the same size as this, punch it in with a hammer, and same as the grease trick that most people use, it should force the bearing out. So I want to see if it's going to work. Now I will be honest, I was very skeptical of this working, covered in bread. And I actually did try to do this before continuing the video to see if it was going to work or not. And surprisingly, it is. It's slowly coming out. So what you do is you pack the center with bread, and then with a snug fitting bolt, smash it through the center. And as you compact the bread, obviously the least spot of resistance is the bearing. So it's going to push the bearing out. So, and it's working. So I'll keep going with it. And there you go. One spigot removed with a loaf, not a loaf, a piece of bread. That is actually amazing. Now to get this auto in, because it's so wide, you have to remove one side header. Now I'm going to remove the driver's side because it actually comes off in two pieces. If you can see the join here. Slip joint, and it makes them a lot easier to get out when you're trying not to scratch your immaculate engine bay paint. So wish me luck. Well, they came out rather easy and didn't scratch anything. So from there, with all the room on this side, I should be able to slip the box in. But first I need to put flex plate on. So now what I'm going to do is fit this flex plate. So flex plate is what the converter bolts do. It replaces your flywheel in a manual, pretty much. We've got these ARP bolts, Loctite, breaker bar on the crank so it stops it from spinning, and that's it. We'll put it on. So flex plates all bolted on, Loctited, torqued to 85 Newton meters, and with grease underneath. So everything the book says, because this shit's scary if it comes off and comes through the floor and chops your legs off. Alright, so this is where I'm at. Converter seated inside the box. I didn't film doing the drop box because, well, it took forever, so. So what I've done is I've done a drop box. So you cut a small hole in the hump in these. They got a removable hump, so it doesn't matter if you cut them, you can just pull a hump out, put another one in. And it drops the shifter down. So all this linkage stuff is all dropped below the center console. So all you have sticking out is the shifter, not some big ugly box that a lot of people do. So now I'm gonna try and get this box in somehow. Wish me luck. Alright, so I got actually a shitload done today. Unfortunately, I didn't film absolutely anything because a mate came and gave me a hand, and then once the ball was rolling, we were just bang, 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 knocking stuff out. So I'll just show you where we got to. So, box is in. Headers are back in. Tail shaft's back in. I don't have a trans mount, cross member, so unfortunately I have to leave the jack here holding it up until I find a cross member, which I completely forgot about. So all that's left is get the shifter to sit right with the console, wiring, cable, shifter cable. That's it. Start it and see if I've done everything right. I'm a bit scared because I've never done anything to do with autos, so I'm just learning as I go, and I know that if you don't seat the converter properly, then you're going to have problems. So that's one thing I'm worried about, that I'm going to do all this and go to drive it and it's not going to move and have to pull everything back out again. But we'll see how we go. Now I'm not sure where I was when I stopped filming before, but I got over trying to film and work on this car because it just makes everything take 3 times as long, and I just wanted to get this done and driving again, because a not driving car is useless, and especially this car, because when this isn't driving, I can't move it and I can't get the Safiro out. So it makes 2 unusable cars. Anyway, so it's done. So in between people coming to help me and my girlfriend, the box is in, headers back on, blah, 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 blah. Did a trans cooler at the front here. Mounted that up nice, actually came out really well. Console and shifter works perfect. So under there it's got a drop box so that it drops that shifter down under the car pretty much, so that it fits with the stock shifter hole and all that stuff. It actually came out really good. So one drama I had was it wouldn't start. Could not figure it out. It had to be something timing related, because it would cough and fart and try to start, and we took this side header off to fit the box in, so it had to be something with leads. Anyway, I got the leads mixed up putting them back on, dickhead. And then when I finally got it to start, topped it up with trans oil and jacked up the rear wheels to make sure, you know, it would go through gears, go forwards, backwards, and the wheels didn't move. I'm like, oh no, what have I done now? Helps if you take the handbrake off. So anyway, took the handbrake off, works perfectly fine. Took it down the street, it drives, selects gears, no dramas. I just need to move a couple of these oil cooler lines. They're a bit close to stuff that's really hot, so, but it doesn't leak anything, it drives perfect, starts up fine, so, which I will show you. So, starts up again fine. Selects gears and stuff, so. Anyway, I'm not going to show you driving it this video because it's got no fuel, so I'll end it there. It's done, it drives, a few little things, and then the next video I'll be driving it and hopefully do a fucking big burnout. Anyway, see you next time.